Today is Monday, Parashat Metzora. We're coming very close to Pesach. Actually, Pesach is next week. Friday evening is the first Seder. One of the very popular songs that we sing at the end of the Seder is Gadya. And it's a poem that Rabbi Yosef Messas, who was a Dayan in Tlemcen, in Meknes, in Haifa afterwards, wrote at the age when he was 28. He wrote in script by hand the whole Haggadah with a beautiful commentary, and it was actually reproduced as a facsimile by the Or Ma'arav organization in Yerushalayim. So Rabbi Yosef Messas has a commentary on this Gadya that we sing. Gadya is a poem that describes a small goat, a gedi, a kid that my father bought me for 2 coins, and there's a cat that came and ate that little goat, and then a dog came and bit the cat, and then the stick hit the dog, and then the fire burned the stick, and then the water put out the fire, then there was an ox that came and drank the water, and then a shochet came and slaughtered the ox, and then the Samech Mem, the Malach HaMavet came, the angel of death came and slaughtered the shochet, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu slaughtered the Samech Mem. So, to understand this poem, it's probably more than one way to understand it, but there's a beautiful commentary here by Rabbi Yosef Messas, who says that Gedi, that small goat, that kid, is actually describes Am Yisrael. It's a symbol for the Jewish people, which are described as Tzor Mar'iti, the flock of Hashem, and Tre Zuzeh, the 2 coins. Zuzim in Hebrew, of course, is money, but also lazuz means to move, because after all, money moves from one hand to the other, from one person to another. So it's speaking about here the twice that Hashem moved, so to speak, to make the great miracles of Makat Bechorot, like it says in the Haggadah, Ani velo malach, me and not an angel, not through a messenger, and also at Kriyat Yamsuf, at the parting of the Red Sea. So it's twice 2 zuzim, 2 movements that Hashem, so to speak, came down here on earth to make these great miracles, is what it's talking about, the Chad Gadya, the one kid that my father, which is Hashem, bought with 2 movements, that he came, Makat Bechorot and the parting of the Red Sea. Then there's the cat that comes and eats that little goat, and the cat represents Paro, because from all the animals that people sometimes have domesticated animals at home, the cat is the one that is not loyal, doesn't remember his master, not like a dog who's very loyal to his master. The cat is forgetful, so to speak, who his master is, and Paro forgot all the great things that Yosef Tzaddik did for Egypt and enslaved the Jewish people. He forgot. He had ingratitude. Just like a cat is not loyal, doesn't remember, also Paro did not remember. There's a question whether he was a new Paro or the same Paro, but regardless, Paro did not remember all the great things that Yosef did for his country. Then he ate the cat. He made them work very hard. It was back-breaking slavery, represented as if the cat was eating that kid, which is Am Yisrael. Then comes the dog and bites the cat. The dog represents the leprosy that Paro was smitten by. He had leprosy, and the same way that the leprosy eats into the flesh of a person, the dog eats into the flesh what he bites. So that's the dog is the leprosy that hit Paro. Then comes the stick and hits the dog. The stick represents Moshe Rabbeinu, according to the Yosef Messas, just like a trunk of a tree, a stick, so I have branches coming out of it. Moshe Rabbeinu was like the root, the trunk of Am Yisrael, and with his stick, he waved it at the place of the leprosy, and the leprosy was healed. So this is the dog, was the leprosy, and the stick was Moshe Rabbeinu that healed the leprosy. Then came fire, and burned the stick. That's the fire of the angels when Moshe Rabbeinu went to Shamayim to receive the Torah. The angels said, Ma yelud ben Isha benenu, what is this that a person was born as a human? What is a human doing here in Shamayim? And according to Midrash, with the Hevel PM, with almost like with their fire coming out of their mouth, they almost burnt him. Hashem saved him. And as he was going back to earth again, they wanted again to burn him, but he was holding on to the Torah, to the tablets of the Torah. And that fire of the Ma'achim was put out, so to speak, by the two luchot, by the two tablets of the Torah, because the Torah is likened to water, and that's what protected him from the fire of the angels in Shamayim. Then comes an ox and drinks the water. The ox is the golden calf that the Jewish people worshipped. And he drank the water because it caused Moshe Rabbeinu to drop the tablets of the Torah and to break them. So figuratively speaking, it's as if the ox, which is the golden calf, the ox was drinking the water. That's what caused the golden calf, is what caused the tablets to be broken. Tablets represented by water, as we said. Then comes the shochet and slaughters the ox. Shochet is Moshe Rabbeinu here, who took that ox, the Avodah Zarah that they made, and he eradicated it, and he burnt it, and he got rid of that Egel HaZahav, that golden calf. That's the shochet who slaughtered the ox. Then comes the Samech Mem, which is the Malach HaMavet, who wanted to take the neshama of Moshe Rabbeinu. According to the Midrash, Moshe took the stick on which the Shem HaMeforash, the name of Hashem, was written, and he sort of like, with that, pushed away the Samech Mem and chased him. And even though he didn't really shochet that, as if he wanted to, and by chasing him is as if the name of Hashem, Kadosh Baruch Hu, written on that stick is what chased after the Samech Mem, the Malach HaMavet. So this is how Rabbi Yosef Messas describes all the various steps in that beautiful poem that we sing at the end of Pesach. And this is an example. There are also other explanations for this poem, but this one is a beautiful explanation from Rabbi Yosef Messas. It's from one of the Haggadot in our library here at Emma Banim. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.